Hey everyone, Eileen here, and I'm your educational consultant / self-awareness and EQ coach based on personality type theory. Evolve through your personality type. That's our motto. Okay, so this video is about what is your drive. You're probably wondering, what am I really driven by? What is the fuel for my car, like not literally speaking, abstractly speaking, of course. What brings me forward? What is my Achilles heel? What is my kryptonite? What is really behind most of the things I'm doing, or most of the things I'm struggling with? It all boils down to your drive. And what do I mean with drive? I actually mean something that is called instincts. So instincts. You are probably familiar with the term instincts. The kinds of instinct I'm talking about is, yes, very basic. It's not very much fight or flight. It is really what we are driven to do as human beings or animals. This is what connects us with the animals. The way we deal with the instincts is more sophisticated, if you want to say it like that, but overall it is very, very similar. And there are three instincts that have the most influence. The most influence in terms of what brings you happiness, what brings you despair, what you need to master in order to really experience happiness in life and feel fulfilled and be driven. I haven't come up with them on my own. They are from the enneagram. The enneagram is a personality type system, and the instincts have found their way into the system. I have found this information so valuable. It has helped me the most in my personal progress and in order to really thrive and become mentally healthier as well. I am not a therapist, but I found that there is immense power in these instincts. I'm not kidding you. If you manage to manage those instincts, if you find out what your important instincts are, and if you then do your best to really amplify them, to really bring them to their best capacity, then you're going to find happiness. So it is really important. And most coaching is catered towards each instinct. So what are the instincts? You're probably curious at this point. Social, self-preservation, and sexual, okay? Alright, those are the three instincts. Okay, think about it. I can visualize it for you in a very simple way. So the social instinct is about what you would think: social activities, friends, groups, events, meetups. For the social instinct, it is crucial that you have at least one good friend. Other things that are also important for the social instinct are things like social status, education, having a good reputation, prestige. All those things are important for the social instinct. You need to feel like you belong in a way. You belong to the greater good, to society. That is very important for the social instinct. A lot of people misattribute the social instinct to extroversion. I have made a video about this, about extroversion versus introversion. Please go to the link and watch that video, because it is going to show you what extroversion is actually about, and it is not about the social instinct. Sociability and extroversion are two different things. They go very well together, but they're not the same. Okay, so that's the social instinct. Self-preservation instinct. It's quite opposite in a way, because it's all about you, the self. Things like health, physical fitness, your body, money, housing, clothing, financial security, you know, having resources. All those things are very important for the self-preservation instinct. So it's all about the self, and stereotypically speaking, the self-preservation instinct is introverted, you know, because it focuses on the self. But as I said, these instincts are beyond extroversion and introversion. Please go to the video to really see the difference. But the self-preservation instinct is basically about preserving the self. Kind of like you're a mummy, and you know, you're like a living mummy, and you have to take care of yourself. That's what the self-preservation instinct is about. And last but not least, the sexual instinct. So the sexual instinct is kind of in between, you could say. It's mostly about an intense connection with another human being. In the animal kingdom, it is about, yes, procreation. It is also about sex, but it's not just about sex as a physical need. You can also see sex as a self-preservation physical need to fulfill your physicality. So, you know, there are people who don't care much about the sexual instinct, but they have a lot of sex, and that's because of the self-preservation instinct. For the sexual instinct, it's about intense connection, intense bonding, passion, other things that are not so much about pair bonding directly, but, you know, passions, strong interests. A lot of art and creativity is also connected to the sexual instinct. That can probably explain why so many love songs exist. The creative spirit seems to be sparked by the sexual instinct. Alright, so now you know the very basics of what you are driven by. You can probably guess which one of these instincts is the most important for you. And that's going to determine what makes you happy and what makes you unhappy. If you still don't know which instinct is your first or second one, then please get a typing session with me. Book a typing session with me, and I'm gonna figure it out for you. Alright, so each one of us has a different ranking. Personally speaking, the most important instinct for me is the social one, followed by the sexual one, and the self-preservation instinct is the last for me. So what does it mean? It means that I care the most about social connections, having friends, being involved in a group, in some group project, bringing value to humanity, you know. That's the social instinct. That's very important for me. If I don't have any friends, I am gonna be depressed. Okay, that's so straightforward. But I used to be so lonely, not understand this, and you know, and then suddenly it was like, oh wow, I actually need to make friends. It was also difficult for me because I was also an avoidantly attached, and I'm an introvert, so it's very contradictory, you know. As an introvert, you have lower energy levels and you need more space in a way, and you're more focused on yourself, but at the same time, when you're the social instinct first, you need social interactions. So there's like this constant tug and pull between, you know, pulling back and then engaging with other people. Okay, I said the sexual instinct second. So basically, yes, relationships are important. And the thing is, the sexual instinct has the closest bonds, or at least it desires that. The social instinct has, the bonds are not as intense because, you know, it is involving more people. Of course, if you are a combination of those, like social first, sexual second, then the bonds are going to be closer, but it's not as close as if you were sexual first. Sexual instinct. I need to engage also in passions, creativity. Okay, self-preservation. If you're very underweight, if you're having issues with your physicality, if you're broke, if you are homeless, all those things are the worst for this instinct. And this instinct really needs to make sure that all these things are covered. So if you are self-preservation first, you need to make sure that you know, get that stuff in order, have a job, have an income, you know, take care of your physicality. That's really important for this instinct. Of course, in order to be the happiest, you need to be good at all instincts, or rather to have all instincts met to some degree and to be able to gain a healthy perspective on each instinct. But based on your order, you need to shift your priorities a little bit. Sometimes people think, oh, I should focus on this one just because. And sometimes there are life circumstances where you need to do this when you are currently broke. Even if you don't care about this instinct as much, you would still have to focus on it temporarily. But overall, what I advise everyone is to realize what are your first two instincts and do your ultimate best at fulfilling that instinct. It's gonna dramatically increase your happiness. It's really important. For example, as I said earlier, dating coaches are for the sexual instinct. Dating coaches. If you're unhappy and your sexual instinct first, you're probably single. Like most unhappy sexual instinct first people are single for an obvious reason. But you can be happier also if you are single and sexual instinct first. For that, you need to pull and put all your sexual energy into creative pursuits, into passions, into things that will have an impact and have meaning and may outlast you in some way. This is really important for the sexual instinct. For the self-preservation instinct, if that is your first instinct, depending on what your problem is, if your problem is an eating disorder, you need to get rid of it, obviously. You need to go to therapy. If it is, just having to train more, get a gym membership, get a training coach, learn how to eat healthy, all those things. You need to find your niche and you need to somehow meet this instinct. That is very important. If you have issues with financial stuff, you need to find resources, information on how to get a job, how to have financial security and all that stuff. That is really important for the self-preservation instinct. For the social instinct, obviously, you need to have friends. You need to regularly meet up with people. You need to be involved. And it is very tempting to only focus on social media, especially if you're an introvert like me. But the thing is that online media, social media, are not gonna sufficiently fulfill this instinct. You will need real life social interactions. Otherwise, there's always gonna be a certain lack. So you really need to master that stuff. You don't need to master each instinct to 100%, but you really need to work on yourself and the domain that is your main instinct. Also with the sexual instinct, of course, you need to learn how to improve your relationships. You need to get over an insecure attachment style, for example. If you are an avoidant or dismissive or you're very insecure, you need to find a way to improve that. Also with the social instinct, if you have social anxiety, you need to find a way to improve that. And there's so much stuff online, and I can also make videos on these subjects. But this is the basic overview, okay? So this is what you're driven by. And it's very simple. Everything in life can be broken down into one or all of these instincts. I can even tell you this channel is mostly going to be about these two things. The social instinct and the sexual instinct. Social and sexual because you're going to improve yourself and your relationships, Those are these things. Self-preservation, not as much. Alright, that's mostly it. You can follow me on here if you subscribe. Please like and share this video if it made sense to you and you learned something. And also please join our Facebook group and follow our Facebook page, okay? Thanks, have a good day, bye! Hey everyone, welcome to Type Evolution. I'm Eileen, I'm your educational coach. No. Cut.